Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today we will talk about semester first assignments for the subject organizational behavior, and this is for June 2023 cycle. So basically this is our regular cycle wherein all the students who are currently enrolled in first semester are are liable to just submit the assignments. So you can just easily get these assignments by logging to the NMIMS portal, going to the exam link, and into that you will get the assignments. Click on assignments, you will get a list of all the six assignments for your all the six subjects. So before proceeding with our assignments video, so firstly I just want to give a brief that what usually I just cover in the assignment videos, and why I just initiated this particular thought process, because I have observed that obviously you are recently being enrolled, right? So it's only 2 or 3 months past that you have recently enrolled, and it's not possible to just cover up the complete book of all the six subjects, and after that you just start preparing for the assignment. So that's why I just give you a quick overview that okay, these are the different pages which you can refer instead of reading the whole book of 300-400 pages. You just need to scroll those 30-40 pages to get an understanding, okay, what is being asked in the question and what you need to write. And additionally I just cover the key pointers based on my understanding and my experiences. These are the key things which you need to cover, and if you can cover, surely you can score good marks. So this is all which we cover in this video. Before starting this video, just giving a brief that each subject comprises of two things. One is the assignment and exam. Assignments cover 30% of the weightage, that is 30 marks, in which we are having the three questions for second, third, and third B. Each is of 10 marks, and the total word count for each question is 1000 words plus minus 10% is totally acceptable. And two important thing, copy case and plagiarism. Do not share your assignment with your colleagues, otherwise you both will get the copy case and you both will get 0 marks, and you need to submit the assignment again in the next cycle. And second is plagiarism. Read the content from a number of sources, but write it down in your own words only. That's the key mantra of scoring the maximum marks. So just keep these things in your mind. And additionally, I have shared one video where I have just discussed about the key tips about the assignments and the best ways to just prepare for the assignments. You can just go through that. That would surely be helpful before starting assign your first assignment. So let's start this PDF. So if you see this PDF is available on your portal, make sure that this is for June 2023 cycle. Many a times you just download it from any WhatsApp group or maybe some other group, and you start working, and later on you come to know that, oh, this is not the correct PDF for me. Maybe some April cycle or maybe some previous year PDF file. So make sure that you are going to the right PDF file, right? So if you see, we are having three questions: first, second, third, and third B, as we discussed. If we talk about the subject organizational behavior, this is very much relatable with your behavior, your patterns, which you normally do in your professional world. Even if you are a non-professional or you are just started your learning curve of learning career, then definitely these behavior are very important. It's important to just intake the key things, key pointers in your day-to-day life as well as in your professional journey. But yes, if you are a professional expertise having 2 3 5 or maybe 10 or 15 years of experience, you can relate these things very easily. And it's you can even you just think of that, okay, these are the things which you are doing in your current organization, in your professional world, and these are the improvisation areas which you can just think of while working. So that's why I just recommend you guys to just go to this organizational behavior subject once. It's very easy, very interesting, and you will learn a lot based on my experience, my professional experience. Just you can just read it like a novel. Now jumping back to our assignment, let's start our assignment for organizational behavior. Let's cover each question one by one. Let's talk about the first question. Leadership is widely regarded as critical attribute that is becoming increasingly scarce in organization. It is a process in which an organization, in which an individual seeks the support of others to achieve the common goals. Leaders are visionary individuals who act as the catalyst in motivating and influencing others. Given these statements, it is essential to examine the importance of leadership in an organization. Conclude the answer that how the organization would fare if uh, if leadership is not right. So in the question we are talking wholesale about leadership. As we all know, leadership is very critical, very crucial for any organization at every level, because leadership, if leadership is correct, the things will go in the right direction. If it is wrong, then it will become terrifying for the terrific journey for the employees to work within the organization. We normally say na, people do not leave the company, they leave their bosses and leaders, right? So leadership is very important. There's a difference between leaders and boss, undoubtedly. So let's talk what needs to be covered. We need to talk about the leadership, we need to discuss about its importance, about the pitfalls. So these are the few things which we cover. Let's see what pages to refer, and what the content which we can refer for this question. So firstly, refer to the page number 138. Going to the page number 138. Okay, so it's the start of our question where we just talk about leadership. Maybe you can just take from the introductory part a general one, or maybe you can use some definitions. Maybe like this is the definition which was given by some person. So in this case, one important thing, here you need not to change the definition because definition is given by some person. So that won't cover under plagiarism. So that was one doubt which students normally ask, right? But besides this, if you're writing anything, that you need to write it down in your own words, right? So you can just give a brief, okay, what is this leadership? Leadership is the ability of the individual to influence the other individuals to behave in the right pattern, and their aim is towards attaining the set goals of the company and the organization, right? We just need to achieve the challenging targets, getting it accomplished. It involves motivating the employees. It includes efficient people skill set and lot many things, right? So you just give a brief about leadership. Post that, we need to talk about the key skills which are required for the leadership, like assertive skill, communication skill, motivation skill, and adaptive skills. You can give one or two liner if you want to mention, otherwise you can just simply mention these four skill set. No need to go in detail, but yes, if you think that your answer is going to 700 800 words, so you want to increase it, surely you can write one or two liners for each of the skills. Then next comes at the page number 140. If you go at page number 140, we talk about the significance of the leader, which is the key ask of the question. We need to talk about the importance of the leadership in any organization, right? So it provides the clear vision, as you all know that it should have a clear vision to its employees, and it forms a bigger picture how the things should work. It leads to effective and efficient planning. That is second thing. It always inspire motivating. Sometimes people feel low when the things are not going well, so leader is the one who motivates and inspire the people and continue to move them in the right direction. Leadership build employee model. It boosts the human moral. Definitely, if it's a good leadership, it's very important to just boost the employee morale on time to time basis. It encourages the new idea. Sometimes a person has a different idea, second person has a different thought process, but when we discuss, when leaders come into the picture, they just collate up all the ideas and discuss it within the team, so it also generates certain new ideas, right? It improves the employee organization relationship. Definitely a leader acts as a listening between an employee and an organization, because an employee can't direct to the CEO of any company, right? It's just very pretty much obvious, but yes, he can put up his concerns to his leader has put up his thoughts to his leaders, and at the end eventually it leads to the CEO, and definitely he can think over that, okay, what needs to be improvised or what additional things to be done, taken care of, right? Leader helps in the management of the crisis whenever the things will go negative, like if you talk about the COVID situation, or maybe some issues with the project, maybe it's related to our timelines, maybe some employee health issues or any issue. So leaders comes into the picture. They just identify the possible scenario and the possible area through which the things can be you can say the things, the negative things can be removed, or you can say that particular situation can be handled in a correct manner, right? So these are the key importance of the leadership in any organization. Then last part comes about the pitfalls in the leadership. Definitely nothing is a perfect in this world. So if we talk about leadership, again, leadership is also having certain pitfalls. If we talk about the pitfalls, we are having the three pitfalls. One is personal pitfall, second is organizational pitfalls, and third one is the environmental pitfalls. So we need to talk more towards that. So if we talk about the question, it's conclude the answering how the organization would face. Sorry, it's written wrongly in the question. It would face if the leadership is not correct. So if we talk about the negative consequences, so pitfalls are the negative parts, but we need to relate more towards the organization, right? Like if we talk about the criticism, so a leader would work directly with the organization, it can face certain criticism, and the same will be faced by the organization as well. Dictatorship, role confusion, organizational pitfalls, or you can say the environmental pitfalls. So we are having the different areas where leadership goes wrong, and we need to say that what will be its final impact towards the organization. So relate more towards the organization stuff, right? So I think the first question is pretty much clear. Now moving to our second question. So guys, many students are saying so the question is very lengthy. So guys, don't worry. If the question is lengthy, it doesn't mean it will be tough. It's very easy. It's more or less we are talking about a case study. So just read it carefully. You can easily relate it with your stuff, or maybe you can say with your organizational experience. It's very relatable, right? So like if we talk about the second question, so the second question is about the two different people. One is Harvey and the second is Weems. So Harvey and Weems are the team leaders of the team A and B respectively. Harvey is open, very open to the feedback and do not let his perception rule his decision. He takes action based on the facts and figures, whereas Weems get carried away with his perception. Team A is very happy and motivated team, which is clearly visible by their performance, and just reverse goes to the team B. Sorry. Weems take aid from a self-help book where he reads about the managerial implications of perception. When he does a self-analysis, he understood that all this while he was working totally under the influence of the perception. Weems decided to take a plunge and modify his behavior, discuss any three managerial implications of perception, and conclude by stating that would that what could have made Weems change his way of behaving. Right. So we are talking about the two people. One is who is talking about facts and figures, real life based scenarios, and he takes action according to that. About the team A, people are definitely very happy with the things going on in the team A. If we talk about teammates, quite reverse, where the manager like Weems is the team lead in this case. So Weems completely works on the perception. Perception is simply a thought process, right? So he take the decisions based on his thought process, and when he just start analyzing, he identify that he is completely under the influence of any perception, right? So he want to change his behavior. So we need to talk more about the perception, right? What is perception, how its impact, its managerial implication, and how it can change the way of behaving, right? So let's see what the things to be referred and what we can just mention in the second question. So firstly we talk about the perception. So perception is simply we need to firstly understand the concept of stimulus. So we talk about that stimulus that arose the specific functional reaction of a human being, like food, like touch, taste, sight, hearing, and smell. So we need to talk about perception, like how it can help the organize and interpret their sensory impression to give the meaning. It's simply what's perception, what the thought process. If I talk about in a very layman terms, so we are having the two perceptions. One is visual perception, and second is audio perception. That is two types of perception. So perception, if I talk about any example like perception, like suppose if there is a cloudy season, you can say today it will rain. Why? Because that's your perception. You had having a thought process that okay, in the past you have seen, or maybe based on your understanding that okay, if there's some cloudy season, then surely it will rain, right? Or maybe if you see that some dog is coming, you might have a fear that okay, it might bark, right? Because you are having that perception, that thought process, that might be wrong. I'm not saying that all will always be correct, but that's the thought for any particular thing which comes in your mind, or which comes via audio or maybe via visual implications, right? So that is about the perception. Then next we need to talk about going to the page number 74, the key factors influencing the perception, right? So what are the key factors? There are two. One is the external factor and second is internal factor. If we talk about the external factor, we are having the perceiver, we are having the target, we are having the simulation situation. Then internal factor is the sensory limits and thresholds, and psychological factors. Maybe you can give you can talk one or two liner, that's not a part of the question, but yes, if you want to write, you can mention these pointers in detail. Then comes the actual story, which is the ask of the question, where we need to talk about any three managerial implications of perception. In the book, if you see, it's provided a number. Let's talk one by one. Like employee selection and recruitment, you are having some gender or maybe some race, racist mentality. Then it will impact the selection and recruitment process. If we talk about the performance appraisal, then you are having some good thought for one person, or maybe some negative or maybe neutral thought for some other person, that surely be reflected in the performance appraisal, where you just start comparing or favoring some employees. The next is stereotyping and the halo effect, which means that you are judging based on certain impression, like women are the bad drivers, that is a stereotype, right? So and halo effect is simply you are judging based on certain traits, or you are having certain thought process, right? Meeting initial expectations, right? Like you are having certain thought that okay, if if his employee wants to sell 200 credit cards, then he just thought that he would be if he's selling less, then he will not give the due respect, right? Like why he's selling low in comparison to the previous year, right? Forming a similar to me, many persons say that yeah guys, why don't you work? I'm also working 18 hours a day, I'm also working in the night shift. So you just start comparing other people and just thinking that okay, he should also be similar to me, right? Forming a projection, again you are having certain thought in your mind, like when you just quit some job, or when a person is very much dedicated, then he just think in that way, right? So projection biases again, where the individuals perceive that other individuals have similar behavior beliefs as them, right? Next is judging based on the primary fact. The what we can say, the first impression is the last impression, we say. It is next based on the recency effect. When the time lapse, so again the first impression cost wiped away, and whatever the recent things happen, like suppose if year end discussion is coming, like suppose in the month of Feb or maybe in November, December, and just prior to that he just commits some mistake. Throughout the year he was a good worker performer, but in the last he just committed few mistakes. Then the people start judging on that basis, right? So these are the certain these are the certain implications of perception. In the question it's clearly being asked, you need to mention I think two, right? Three, sorry. So three is being asked, so you just write three. Don't think that if you write all six or seven you will get more marks. No, maximum you can write four, just an addition if you want to give, but I would suggest that just stick to three only. Being three is being asked, only three will be considered, right? After that we need to go to the page number 82, like managing the perception process, right? Here we just need to think how the perception process can be managed. Like it should have a high level of self-awareness. It should be aware that okay, what he is thinking is he should be aware of that, he is not taking action blindly. He should support the perception for information from other sources, not only perception. He should also take other factors in consideration. It should be empathetic, right? Like if you are trying some conclusion, some point of view, then don't make any notions blindly, right? Like if other people think there's this, then it should be this. No, individuals should rise above the personal impression, just move out of the personal thought process. It should avoid common perceptual distortions. It should avoid inappropriate attributions. So these are the certain things which he should keep in your mind, and definitely you need to relate it more towards the Weems case, right? So write it down, but yes, to mention about the Weems time to time and explain it, relating the Weems as a team leader, right? For this answer, right? So I think second question is pretty much clear. Moving to the third question. The third is having two answers, third A and third B. Firstly, guys, don't write any answer third. Right? If you think that you just write a common answer C, no. We are having the two answers 3 and 3b, they should be different. So when you start writing answer 1, answer 2, answer 3 and answer 3b, right? So there would be four answers, right? So don't write any answer 3 and answer 3b, right? Both questions are pretty much relatable, stuff is almost the same. Let's see and how we can just differentiate both. John and Jacob are the co-workers. They both are working in the same project, but their work values are very different from each other. Why? Because John belongs to X generation, Generation X, and relies more towards the teamwork as well as its team projection and upliftment, whereas Jacob is from Generation Y, the V generation, or the Millennium from his and for him, self-reliance is more important. Though they share a great person rapport, but they always found to have some disagreement at work. Explain the reason for the disagreement. It is natural to have such disagreement. Give concluding remark for Jacob's behavior in terms of the generation values. Right. So we need to refer only one page, right? It's more or less about the behavioral analysis, so you need to write a lot many things on your own. So in the book we have just given only this small stuff where we are talking about the generation values. In generation values we need to talk about the different generations, like the builders, the initial level at the World War II, the baby borners from 46 to 64, the X generation is 65 to 80, where in the question is being asked about the senior people. The Y generation is 81 to 200, right, which is dominating towards self-reliance and financial success and synergy. And the Z is the new generation, right, born after the 2000. So firstly, you just explain about the different generations. You relate the question with respect to the case study, right? So you just need to explain about okay, we are talking about X generation, we are talking about Y generation. You just need to google out a bit where you just talk about that okay, X generation falls between this to this period, and these are the key values for that generation, and for Y generation these are the key values. So you need to mention, and after that you need to mention the Jacob behavior. You need to relate the Jacob, and definitely you can mention the John as well, John and Jacob, and just give their generational values, right? If we talk about the third B question, the third B question is also the similar one where we are talking about or introduce the value system of your generation. So in this case, sorry, I'm just coming to it later, and discuss the rest of the generations and their values, right? So firstly we need to talk about the value system. So if we talk about this value system, so we talk about the different values. Maybe you can just give a very generic statement of these values. Okay, these are the certain values. You can just mention the values, the different types of values as per the Rakesh value survey, which are the terminal values, or you can say the instrumental values. You can mention, right? After that it comes the values from the base of the generation, because we are talking more towards the generational values, right? After that you just mention what is generation values. In book very low stuff is given, and you already cover most of the stuff in the third A. So make sure you just google out a bit, or maybe you just need to revamp, or you can say just tweak the statements which you are writing. Maybe you can just cut short, or maybe just write additional few stuff, right? And after that you need to talk about the other generations, right? So in the question we talk about XY, we need to talk about builders, baby boomers, and Z generation, right? So talk about the five generations. The first one is builders, second is baby boomers, then X generation, Y generation, and the Z generation. Talk in detail. It will surely cover the your 500 words. So this is all which you need to talk about the third question, third B question. Just make sure that the stuff and the lining should not be same for third A and third B. Just tweak a bit, and surely you need to refer to Google, because in book you didn't find much stuff to it, right? So I thought I have covered almost all the three questions, and you are pretty much clear that what is being asked in the question. So guys, don't worry that the question is very lengthy. The more lengthy the question is, the more easy is for you to just identify the answer out of it, right? So make sure read the question clearly, and just write the appropriate stuff. Don't write anything to just cover the 1,000 words, right? So make sure you are writing the right content, and if you have any doubts or facing any issue, maybe related to this particular subject or maybe to any other subject, whether it's related to the assignments or exams, whether you are not sure how to study, what to study, what videos to refer, how to just crack exams in a very quick manner, or maybe the smart way of uh, clearing the exams. Few any tips or anything which you want to discuss, maybe it's something related to your career, feel free to just connect to me at ngasc.mba@gmail.com, and please share your contact details if you want to connect to me. Just share your contact number over my email. Surely I will try to connect to all of my students as soon as possible. And if you like this video, do like, do subscribe, and stay connected to my video, to my channel. Thank you so much, and bye bye.